Good afternoon, children. Good afternoon, children. Today we are going to continue with our class. So, what is our today's session is? We are going to see with the vocabulary of the terms that are being given in today's session of the class. So, oxymorons and hyperboles are the given vocabulary in the given examples of the following sentences there. So, before entering into the vocabulary, we are going to have our discussion with the definition of oxymoron and hyperbole now. The first one, an oxymoron is a figure of speech that just opposes the elements that appear to be contradictory. So, you are going to see how the oxymorons are there, and oxymoron is a figure of speech that just elements that appear to be the contradictory. So it combines with the words that have very opposite meanings, very different opposite of the words that are being given with the examples of oxymorons there. So now you can see the definition of this oxymoron, how it is to be identified. So that is a just the elements that are being observed to be the contradictory, means contradictory in the sense you can see it is a opposite meaning with the different words that are to be spelt there. She let out a quiet scream. The design is composed of an irregular pattern. So you are going to see that the design is composed of irregular pattern there. Then, so how is the design he is giving with the examples? That is an irregular pattern. Then she let out a scream. So she let out a scream. So what are these examples? You are going to see how she went out. She let out a scream, means she went outside without having a noise. Then the design is composed. So how is the design? The design means you will be having of a specifically giving the pattern there, but they are saying that composed, the design means they are giving the examples of the right as the irregular pattern there. And these are the two examples which the elements of the words that are to be involved are contradictory there with the having of the different meanings. Then second example which we are going to take is hyperbole. How is an hyperbole? Is a figure of speech in which the exaggeration is used for the emphasis or effect there. Then what is hyperbole? So this hyperbole is a figure of speech which is used for the total emphasis or then they are saying that she is as skinny as a toothpick. Then you are going to see that hyperbole is a figure of speech in which the exaggeration is used for emphasis or effect. Then here we are going to see with the underlining examples of some oxymorons and hyperboles. And what are these hyperboles example? In the first sentence I shall say repeat. We had to wait forever for the bus. We had to wait forever. Wait is there, forever is there. We had to wait forever for the bus. Wait forever. Then second one, I have a million things to do. I have a million things to do. Then third one, I could sleep for a year, and I could sleep for a year. Then fourth one, it was the most amazing sight ever. It was the most amazing sight ever. So amazing sight ever is there, and that is also the thing which you can see. Then sixth one, I have told you 100 times to wash dishes. I have told you 100 times. See, I have told you 100 times to wash the dishes. And what is this? The spelling you can see. 100 times is being taught for her to taught the dishes there. And these are the things which can be made in the underlining of the words 100 times to wash the dishes, not even one time. You can take with the examples of 100 there. Then underline the oxymorons in the sentences given below. Here the above expressions we have seen, hyperbolic expressions given: wait, forever, million, things, sleep, for a year, amazing, sight, ever, eat a horse, 100 times to wash the dishes. Then underline the oxymorons in the following sentences. And now we are going to see in the sentences the oxymorons which are going to be underlining of the sentences there. And what are those things? The room, in the first sentence I shall give, the room was filled with a deafening silence. The room was filled with a deafening silence. Then deafening, the clown was seriously funny. The clown was seriously funny. Then you can see seriously funny. You are clearly confused by the explanation. You are clearly confused by the explanation. Did you bring the original copy? Did you bring the original copy? So here you are going to underline these sentences of the words that are being given for these oxymorons. Then fifth one is, she is deeply superficial. She is deeply superficial. That dog is pretty ugly. That dog is pretty ugly. You can see the identification, that is pretty ugly. She is deeply superficial. Now you can see the underlining of the words which are being given in the sentences there of the oxymorons. What is that one? The room was filled with deafening silence. So that is, the deafening is there with the silence. Means you can see and you can compare the contrast, how the silence is being appearing there. The clown was seriously funny. So how will be the clown? The nature of the clown. Clown is there and seriously funny is there. So that can be taken into these according to the sentences. Then you are very clearly having with the examples of did you bring the original copy? So copy is there, and how is the copy? The original is there. Then fifth one, she is deeply superficial. So how deeply is this? The layer is the superficial. Deeply in the sense and compare and contrast, superficial is there. Superficial, and the opposite word is deeply there. And sixth one is, that dog is pretty ugly. So that dog is pretty ugly. So these deafening silence, seriously funny, clearly confused, original copy, and deeply superficial, and pretty ugly. So these are the lines of the sentences in the oxymorons where you can fill the contradictory words that combines with the opposites and the different meanings there. And these are the vocabulary words that are going to be used in these oxymorons and hyperboles of the situations there. And words ending, now you can see, then come to the another part, that is the spellings over there. The spellings of the other topic we can see that are words ending with able or ible. So that are the spellings that you can see ending with the words with the able and ible. that may usually seen as the capable of suitable for the words able, ible, and those are the words that we can take as enjoyable, readable. Are these words ending with able, and able is the readable there. So enjoyable, what is the meaning of enjoyable? Able to be enjoyed. And readable, capable of being read. Then you can see the spellings of the words with ible. That word is edible, edible, and suitable for eating. That edible meaning is suitable for eating. Then ible, reversible, capable of being reversed, and that is being taken by the sentence there. And when you are going to see the words fixing with ible and able, or the words that are to be taken under the correction of the spelling is permissible, and the second one is bearable, third one is breakable, and fourth one is audible, ible, fifth one is collapsible, sixth one is movable, seventh one is eligible, eighth one is advisable, and ninth one is acceptable, responsible, inflatable, eligible, incredible, navigable, reversible, preferable, and justifiable, invisible, capable, and negligible. Here you can see the words of the spellings of the words ending with the words with able and ible, and these will be the adjectives which are mean the capable of, or they are being suitable for the work there. So these words are being taken under the consideration of these spellings there, and these are the separate spellings of the context which you can see with the words ending with ible and able. So similarly, apart from that, you are going to see with some forms of requests there. So that is as part of our conversation. You can see the requests are there, and what are these requests? You can see when we are asking someone for something, we need to be polite and courteous. So when we are asking for someone for something, at that time we should be, or we need to be polite or courteous in language. That in the form of the questions we use modal auxiliaries such as can, could, would, might to frame the questions there. And we also use the words please, sorry, thank you for the responding of these comments for your requests here. And what are those requests? I shall give with these examples. Making a request with the following of these words used there. May I borrow your pen please? First sentence by making a request. May I borrow your pen please? Could I borrow your pen please? And this the request commanding in the sentences of staying there. May I borrow your pen please? And could I borrow your pen please? Would you mind lending me your pen please? Would you be so kind to lend me your pen please? Or could you please do me a favor? Could you do me a favor please? Then the next sentence, I was wondering if you could do me a favor. I was wondering if you could do me a favor. And second one, will you please come with me to the doctor? Do you think you could possibly come with me to the doctor? You could come. Do you think you could possibly come with me to the doctor? Yes. So would you, could you, more polite and formal than will you, can you. Indirect requests such as I wonder if you could lend me your pen, more than different requests such as could you lend me your pen. So adding the expressions, you can also see I am sorry to bother you, but to a request makes them more polite. Then second one, agreeing to a request there. And what is the agreeing to a request is, may I borrow your pen please? Yes, of course. Yes, please do. Certainly, sure. Would you mind lending me your pen please? No, not at all. Can you do me a favor? Of course, by all means. You can see. Will you please come to me with me to the doctor? Sure, I will be glad to help you. When you are going to see with the requesting or agreeing, you can say, of course, yes, certainly, sure. But when you are declining, may I request your pen please means, no, I am sorry, I need it. Could you lend me your pen please? I wish I could have, but I don't have it with me. You can say like that also. And would you please give the lend me your pen please? Yes, I am afraid I can't eat. Then could you please tell me the way to the situation? I am afraid I don't know. That you can say with the sorry, that can be taken. Then will you please come to me with the doctor? So that you can say when you are declining the request, you can say I am sorry, I can't. So with this you can see the declining of the request examples by the saying may not or sorry. So we shall continue in one more session.